ScottEPage, the model thinker, what you need to know to make data work for you. Dive into The Model Thinker, what you need to know to make data work for you. A masterful exploration of the world of data models and their role in predicting, explaining, and designing aspects of our lives. Written by ScottEPage, this book enlightens us on how models can turn vast, complex data into simple variables, allowing us to make informed decisions and visualize outcomes without committing to them. Unravel the power of multiple models for increased accuracy. Delve into key concepts such as normal distributions and power laws, uncover the significance of linear regression, and confront the challenges of modeling human behavior.
Models and their power. In June 2009, Air France flight AF477 crashed in the Atlantic Ocean and remained lost despite weeks of search expeditions. The French authorities eventually turned to complex data models to locate the plane. Using data on ocean currents and sophisticated modeling, they pinpointed a small region where they predicted the fuselage might lie, and within a week, they found it. This achievement shows the power of using models. Models help in explaining, designing, and predicting. They simplify the world into straightforward variables that enable the identification of truly significant factors that determine real-world outcomes. Real-world models in physics or ecology rely on observable facts to create accounts of why things happen the way they do. Models are equally helpful in imagining what designs, social policies, innovative products, or marketing campaigns might look like, allowing us to project and envision outcomes. Models help predict the future despite not always being perfectly accurate. The following sections illustrate how models can make it easier to predict the outcomes of uncertain events. Multiplying models for better predictions. Polls are important in politics, but they can be unreliable. Humans are fallible, and so are the models they create. To improve accuracy, it's best to consult multiple models instead of relying on just one. The Condorcet's jury theorem confirms that groups are more likely to make the right decision than an individual. Similarly, if each model is correct more often than not, then using more models can increase overall accuracy. However, using diverse models is easier said than done. In the world of politics, polls have been regarded as a fact of life, a go-to tool for visualizing the state of a race. However, recent elections have shown that polls can be unreliable predictors of who will win. One of the reasons for this is human fallibility. People create models, and we tend to forget that even though these models rely on logic and math, they can still be wrong because we built them, and we make mistakes. So, how can we improve the predictions, designs, and explanations that models provide? The answer lies in using multiple models instead of just relying on a single approach. Charting different models when trying to make big decisions works akin to confiding in close friends. By hearing diverse opinions, you get to see your dilemma from various angles, leading you to make a more rational decision. Condorcet's jury theorem confirms this idea, likening it to a courtroom situation. Let's say that each juror is correct more often than not. Mathematically, it follows that the decision of a group of jurors is likely to be more accurate than an individual's verdict. As one adds up each juror's odds of being right, the chances of the majority verdict being wrong dwindles. This theorem also applies to modeling. Using diverse models is a way to ensure that the accuracy of any one group is amplified by others. The problem is that working with many different models is easier said than done. Diversity can be difficult to achieve when constructing models, making it less diverse than desired. Therefore, to improve models, we need to focus on different, rather than merely distinct models that overlap in different aspects. Using multiple models helps to increase accuracy and produce better predictions over time. The normal distribution. The bell curve, also known as the normal distribution, explains the commonality of C students among various systems. A normal distribution is a spread of values that cluster around one central mean, with rare outliers on both sides. Normal distributions underlie numerous basic models as they represent equivalent deviations in any direction. In contrast, skewed distributions such as wealth concentration exhibit a different relationship with outliers. Understanding whether a given system follows a normal distribution is significant in designing useful models to cater to most values. Power laws in systems. Some systems conform to long-tail distributions known as power laws, and the preferential attachment model can explain how growth in these systems leads to further growth. Many important systems, including wealth generation, book sales, and viral videos, can be modeled as power laws. Normal distribution, often referred to as a bell curve, is a commonly studied type of distribution. However, there is another important type of distribution known as a long-tailed distribution that is often overlooked. This distribution is exemplified by the power law, which describes a system in which something is amplified or exaggerated. Many important systems can be modeled as power laws, such as wealth creation through investment, infectious disease spread, and even the popularity of viral videos. The preferential attachment model explains how growth in these systems leads to further growth, as individuals are more likely to join larger groups. This model can be observed in the early days of a college campus, where the first student creates a club and subsequent students are more likely to join that club rather than starting a new one. In a power law system, growth begets growth, and this can be seen in a variety of systems beyond college clubs. Understanding power laws and preferential attachment is crucial for modeling and predicting the behavior of important real-world systems. Discovering correlations with linear regression. Linear regression is a technique that helps identify correlations between variables. By plotting values on a graph and drawing a straight line through them, we can model the relationship between various straightforward systems. Though linear regression only establishes correlation, not causality, it can point towards areas worth exploring for further experiments and analyses. The power of concave and convex functions. Nonlinear models are essential in predicting change because various systems operate in a nonlinear way. Encompassing a decreasing curve, concave functions model enjoyment and per-unit costs of production. On the other hand, convex functions, forming a rising curve, model profit per unit. Often, when we consider the future, we assume that change is linear. However, Japan and China's economic growth demonstrate the significance of nonlinear models. Because of the huge number of significant nonlinear systems, we see the power of concave and convex functions in assisting prediction of change. Modeling human behavior. Modeling human behavior is a difficult task due to our complex decision-making processes, social pressures, and varying preferences. When attempting to model human behavior, we are faced with the decision of whether to use rule-based or rational actor models. Rule-based behavior can be fixed or adaptive, while rational actor models assume people make decisions based on calculated information. However, neither model works for every situation, and it's challenging to predict human behavior accurately. Nonetheless, selecting the appropriate model can significantly enhance the accuracy of our predictions and explanations.
In sum, the model thinker highlights the importance of models in capturing real-world phenomena and assisting in decision-making processes. This book brings together various themes such as the benefits of multiple models, the concept of normal distributions and power laws, and linear regression as an essential tool in understanding the relationship between variables. Additionally, it sheds light on the complexities of modeling human behavior, stressing the need to choose the right models while embracing the imperfections inherent in doing so. In the end, the model thinker serves as a fascinating guide to harnessing the power of data models to make informed decisions and navigate the ever-changing world around us.